Okay, let's try the feet on the bed.
Things like
Shoulder
I'll
push-ups.
do it when I deconnect it using curve rods on the back end. So there's a ton of things it can do, but it's all about taking my existing identity and now making it available to the cloud in a seamless way. That's the goal of Azure AD. And yes, there's a whole bunch of these federations, you saw like 3600 that are built in, but it's going to layer on top of all of these things the idea about authorization. And that's a really, really important thing. I'll talk more about this in a second. But on top of all of these different services that trust, something you'll hear me talk about a lot is something called conditional access. The ability to evaluate what I'm trying to do and then set conditions. So, hey, yes, I could have separate identities. It's hard for me to track. It's hard for me to know the security. If I use my one identity and expand it to the cloud, through conditional access, I can have a consistent view. I can see what's being used. But I can also now use things like conditional access to say, hey, look, this is a sensitive app. I need you to be on a hybrid joint machine that's healthy. That health state comes from Intune, for example. Or, I've detected some enhanced risk. I want you to do an MFA, multi-factor authentication. So I now get this centralized set of authorization controls no matter what app I'm using by bringing in this kind of central identity. So that's kind of a big driver. So hopefully that kind of makes it clear. Azure AD is not AD in the cloud at all. There really is almost no similarity. They're both identity providers, but that's about it. Now there are many different SKUs of Azure AD and the way I license them. So if I jump over for a second to the portal, and if I go and look, what we kind of see is we'll see there's a free SKU, a kind of SKU I get if I have Office 365, and then Premium P1 and Premium P2. Now most of the time you won't just buy Premium P1 or P2 on its own. You're going to maybe purchase the Enterprise Mobility Suite, EMS, you're going to purchase Microsoft 365, and depending on the version you buy, it comes with an Azure AD Premium P1 or a P2. Like the E3s often have P1, the E5s often have P2. Now I license these on a per user, per month basis. Doesn't have to be all the same. So I might have some users using the free SKU. Some users, they're going to have P1. Some users can have P2. Now you may have everyone as P2. You may have everyone as P1. But the point is, depending on the role and the features you need, you may actually license them slightly differently. Now there's a whole set of different capabilities. And I'm not going to go through every single one, it would take too long. I want to kind of highlight a few of the key ones. When we think about directory objects, so with free, there's a 500,000 object limit. As soon as we go to even Office 365, as soon as I have that enabled for a tenant, the object limit goes away. Office 365 actually writes a lot of things to Azure AD, so that object limit goes away. That's not users, remember, that's objects. Those are objects that live in Azure AD. Single sign-on.